All right, welcome, guys. All right, guys, welcome. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the live session. Welcome to another Money Mike's crypto session. All right. So we're going to go live. We're going to crack on with what's going on, see what the markets have to offer. Major opportunities coming on this pullback. Again, I'm going to use a cross now. If you know me, I always use a cross between MetaTrader and TradingView. All right. So I'm going to have both of them up. All right. We're going to look at both opportunities to look at charts through TradingView and MetaTrader. I believe they're both useful. Okay, TradingView is fantastic for its purposes, and so is MetaTrader 4. All right. So we're going to have a look here and see as to what's going on and why there's major pullback opportunity. All right, I'm not going to waste any time. We're going straight to ADA. All right. So let's have a look at Cardano. All right, guys. So I hope you understand that my analytical skills, okay, are good and that you can really take something from here. Now, what did we just have? Now, yesterday, if you were following on the live, what did I say? There's definitely going to be a psychological level at $3. Now, look at where the price has got to. Now, on Binance here, we're at $2.97. Now, what is the psychological barrier that the price is trying to break past? What is that? It is going to be, okay, $3. Okay, I told you, when it comes to market manipulation and price action, no matter whether it's crypto, forex, stocks, all right, the more institutional hands get involved, okay, or the more whales get involved in a certain asset, the more market manipulation there's going to be. Why do you think the price has reversed from where it is right now? Okay, I told you guys that when it comes to price action, it behaves the same. $2.98 as to where the price is right now. The price is either going to hit $3 or do $2.98. Now, if we go to another chart of Cardano, I'm going to click on all sources. Let's have a look at other brokers to see what the price was. All right. So on other brokers here, $3 is quite far away. So most of them are reading at $2.97. So just shy of $3. Now, why would there be a mass sell-off just before then? Now, think about it, guys. If you know, okay, that $3 is going to be a major breaking point and you're an institution with a lot of money, what would you do? You're going to drive the market as high as it possibly can to get close to that level, and you want to trap liquidity around that $3 levels. If you don't know, there's probably been more people buying Cardano right now than there's ever been in the history of Cardano. Why? Because right now is in the major news. Okay, right now the price is pushing towards levels it hasn't seen for a while, that many of the true Cardano holders have been holding on to for a very long time. Now, again, when the price pulled back to where it's pulled back to, you have to understand the psychology here. Right now, many of the people who are FOMO'd in just before $3 are now, their liquidity is trapped above this point. And what do we have today? A very strong bearish candle. Now, you could look at the price action here, and from this market order book on the H4, it looks as though the market is going to continue rising, which is what they want you to believe. Now, you can see my markings are original here. Nothing has changed. Here is the markings. We've had the price break beneath here, and the next target order book that I'm looking for is here. Now, I told you that there's market inefficiencies on the way up. Okay, there's fractality in the price action that is not completely correct, that needs to be balanced out. Okay, so when I go to the H4 here, the first area I'm looking for is for Cardano to get to that 161. All right, this is the first I'm looking for. That 161 region would be a very good starting point for the price to begin to make its descent down. All right, so the major opportunity here, guys, we have a first rebuy here. I'm going to mark this out. We have our first rebuy opportunity here at $2.61 approximately. All right, that's the first rebuy right here. Okay, before the price takes off. Now, similarly to that, now, when I look at the fractality in the market order book, now I don't have on-chain analytics data to use at the moment, but we don't even really need it to be able to see. If you understand price action, now my background being a forex trader, we're used to market manipulation. And if you understand how institutions behave when it comes to money, then you very much understand what's happening right now. I'm not saying Cardano's not going to $3. It could even go to 10 or 20. But really where we are sitting at the moment right now, Cardano's in a very hyped place, and I knew this would happen. Okay, this is one of those, if you want to understand market tactics, this is one of the top ones. All right. When there's talk of a price level or the price gets to what we call a psychological level or round number, the market will always reverse from there because the anticipation to break that point is so high. Institutions can trap buyers right here and then cheapen the price, which will make it better for them. Okay. And then you can see that Cardano's flatlining. Now, this is probably going to cause a panic. Some people are probably going to sell off and try to buy lower. A lot of activity is going to happen. Now, if Cardano breaks past this $2.42 region, then we have a chance to get Cardano closer towards the $2 side than the $1 side. And you know, still, I can't believe I'm saying that because I remember when Cardano was 3 cents. All right. Now, again, let's have a look at the dynamic on the daily time frame. Now, do you remember what I said about the daily time frame, guys, and how the price action behaved? On the daily time frame here, when we had this massive movement in price on Cardano, Cardano got to $2.46. All right. And we've seen that the price is sustained. And if I move this here, the price used this area here. We had the price break past it first and second time. First time was a stronger spike. Second time was a weaker spike here. And so this was a clear sign that the price was going to break this all-time high. Now, at the moment, as to where we are, when we had the break above this supply zone, we didn't have the return to fulfill the order book on the other side. So right around about here at $2.50, $2.25, we have a major buy opportunity that the price can perform. Now, aside from that, when it comes to Cardano, another major issue is that the second major area of supply that the price had broken past, we've had the break here, okay? But when the price was returning, we've had the prices returned to one algorithmic level, but not back into the liquidity for it. So we still have inefficiencies all the way back down to $1.80, $1.84. Now, you know, you don't want to FOMO into Cardano because this is usually what will happen. But when the market is moving in such succinct movements, okay, but what goes up must come back down. And when order books are imbalanced on the market, any opportunity to rebalance it will be found. Okay, and this is a major one. Okay, so when it comes to what we have with Cardano moving forward here, I do expect the price to give us a major opportunity at almost half the price. $1.81 is where I'm looking for. Now, if the body of the candle, now hear me carefully, in order for you to do this, you're going to have to put some work in and observe this. If the body of the daily candle closes beneath this area here, so if we get a body close beneath here, then we're going to have a chance for a rebuy at $1.50. Now, there's a special type of demand zone that the price has left here. And we're not going into deep depths of analysis at the moment. All we're looking at is just market order books from the level one's perspective. If we had the market order book here with the price feed, then we could look at things from that nature. But here was a major break here that we saw. When the price took its final short down in the mini crash that we had before the price broke, all right, we had the break above and return here. We had an induction for a long with the price using an algorithmic level between these two ranges here. And now the price has gone to where it is. So if I put this right here, here is where we are, 1.4587. This is probably another really good buy zone that the price could possibly produce. Now, how is this going to happen in the midst of everything? Well, we're going to have to watch and see. Now, one thing I would say to you guys is that you definitely want to be dollar cost averaging, okay, because the price could reverse at any of these levels. Now, next time we'll look at things from the on-chain data perspective, because if you look at on-chain data, then we'll be able to gauge supply and demand a lot more clearly than from just the basic fractals of the market, okay? But from what I'm seeing here, at least $2.25 is a respectable range. And if the price wanted to come back here, I do expect there to be some sort of reaction when the price gets to this region right here at $2.45. But I believe we'll go in there. All right. Now, this extension in this bullish run here, mirroring it with what we have on when we look at other cryptos like Bitcoin and Ethereum, we'll be able to work out what's going on. All right. So now let's look at the next major opportunity that we have here. I'm going to go back to Frontier. All right. So let's go to Frontier. I'm going to use Frontier USD calculated by where we are. Again, guys, I told you, we're still in this range. We even have a better opportunity. If you bought yesterday, you bought a little bit higher than where we are right now. The price is at $1.32. For those of you who are my UK guys watching this, all right, you can get in at just less than £1. Now, the price is approaching a demand zone, which is where we had the price spike up to $1.699 or just close to $1.70. And we're approaching that region again. Now, if we start to break beneath here, then we have some opportunities to get in at lower areas, okay? The major break of this price, I would say, is what we had in June. The major break of where we saw the price turning back into a bullish range of price was here. This supply zone, once the price broke above here, it was really the cap of the price for June, July, and August, or most, well, not all of August, but some of August. When we had this break and return here, this was really the launching pad. Now, the bullish action wasn't that strong, okay? Where we were out at 87 all the way up to 170, 1699 is where really we were looking at to go for a movement. But I'm watching to see what we have here, and I'm expecting the price to give us a movement back long. And then from there, we can go from that aspect to pushing for another long on the upside. So I'm watching to see what we're going to get. And once we get this movement here, I told you that for those of you on the daily time frame, you can't really see what's going on. You can only see a wick here. But if I go onto the weekly, it's a bit easier. But if I keep going up, this is like Jack and the Beanstalk's ladder. If you know what Jack and the Beanstalk is, the beanstalk that took you all the way up into the sky. Now you see, as I go there, you have to zoom out, and automatically you see that when that frontier got all the way up to 56 cents, okay, $56, sorry, and this $56 mark, okay, was a piece of price action that the price gave us, which was absolutely amazing. So $56 mark right here, here we go, is where the price went to as a massive high. Now we have to confirm that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into CoinMarketCap and let's confirm this, because I did say it yesterday. Now, sometimes these spikes happen for multiple reasons. Let's see if Frontier's all-time high is actually that. If it's not, then it's cool. But sometimes you see these spikes that happen because it was launched on a chart. So let's go right here. So Frontier, let's see what's going on. All right. So for now, the spike that we see in February is reading as correctively as $4. Let's go, $4.44. Now, if I go right here to look at the information that we have on this, all right, the all-time high is $6.99, okay? And the all-time low is 20 cents. All right, but even at $7 from where it is, it's still not bad if the price gives us a good 4x. I don't mind that. But I believe Frontier is going to do a lot more. As adoption increases, for me, as I said to you, Frontier is one of those projects to me that are one of the beautiful ways, or one of the good ways, as a, not in a Trojan horse because it makes it sound like it's a bad thing, but more in the sense of is one of those projects which will allow for the adoption to be smooth, if I put it that way, because it has interoperability on the back end, massive complexity to allow for simplicity on the front end. So for me, watching what we have going forward here, the price action, you know, will allow us to have really, really strong movements in the future, okay? And as one of the things I like about Frontier is that as the other blockchains do well and more adoption happens on them, it will fall on to Frontier as a project or a level 2 project built on top of these projects. So I do think Frontier, even though we're seeing that $56 spike there, even then, I do still think that the price can definitely get to $56 in the future. All right. And it will be more of a long-term hold that you're not really trying to look for 100x or 50x right now, but you're definitely holding on to it for the future. All right. Let's recap over Atom and let's see. Now, if you guys have suggestions, the floor is open. You can share if you have any crypto you want me to look at. You can just say the word and I'll have a look at it. All right. So Frontier right now, again, we entered into this area of supply, and I did say to you guys that there is a chance of a sell. Now, it was our last opportunity is still here. It doesn't change. There was no falsity in what I said, but there is a chance that the price can pull back. And yesterday, looking at Bitcoin, we had an area of price action that the price was giving us that we could see the market moving all the way back down to 16. And it looks as though we're on our way there. At the moment, the price is giving us a signature of reversal, and I'm liking what I'm seeing right here. This means great opportunity, guys. The prices are cheaper, much cheaper. And as I said to you, Cosmos is another long-term position for me in the sense of, at the moment, Cosmos utility is growing. All right. It is, for me, the Microsoft of crypto, because almost every, if we say blockchain 2.0 style blockchain, was built or indirectly built using Cosmos SDK, which is their smart development kit. Okay. Some of the biggest names out there right now, okay, crypto.com, Binance Chain, okay, they all used the Cosmos SDK, the Tendermint, okay, protocols and etc. to be able to build their massively well-known and well-used, okay, blockchains. So for me, Cosmos is fantastic. As I said yesterday, the real major only reason why the price is depressed and it couldn't be $1,000 very easily is simply because the utility on Atom is low, but it is increasing with the announcements of the Cosmos DEX, or decentralized exchange. All right, and the use of Cosmos and the ability for Cosmos to be staked and things like that. That utility, that demand for the price will allow for Cosmos to see better highs in the future. Okay, but this is more of a long-term project, which I say over time will do really, really well if they stay consistent with where they are. All right, but they are a fantastic project, and I expect them to do very well. Now, in terms of our opportunity, this opportunity today is actually absolutely fantastic, because even if the price reverses just from where it is, you've just saved a couple of dollars uh, per atom that you buy, which means it's going to end up being cheaper. So you're even better off today than yesterday. So if you make sure you guys come to these lives just in case there's an update, what if the price crashes even more and gets back to single digits and you didn't know? So make sure you don't miss these lives, guys. So now that we have this, I'm going to switch over more to MetaTrader here. And I want to let you guys in on what's going on with MetaTrader. Okay, so let me do this. I'm going to share my screen. All right, so let's go for this. All right, so switching screen over to the screen now here. I hope you guys can see my charts. All right. All right, let's put this on here. All right, so what we want to do here is we're going to look at BTC and observe what the price is doing, okay, from that aspect. Now, what I want to do is I want to share the screen in a different way. So I'm going to try to do something here. All right. Let's see. Let's try and do this here. So I'm bear with me, guys. Let me pull this up for you guys to see. All right. So moving over to the charts for Bitcoin. Let's see what happens here with the price action that we're looking at. Now with Bitcoin now, of course, when we're looking at Bitcoin right now, why would we be looking at Bitcoin? The reason why we'll be looking at Bitcoin always is for one reason only. And that reason is because we want to see what the price is going to do, you know, over time. All right. So when we're watching what the price is doing here, we want to make sure that we see price action as it is and grab it from every opportunity here. So I think, you know what, in fact, I might as well just use what we have here. And let's see what happens here. So let me share the screen like this instead. Okay. So let's use BTC here. I'm going to use Coinbase here because I already have the markings on. And you can see that there's a whole load of pieces of price action here as to everything we're looking at. All right, let's see if I can get a clean chart. If I can't, then it's okay. All right. Let's do something here. All right. So here we go with Bitcoin. Let's have a look at what the price is doing. I think, let me just bring up a cleaner chart actually, guys. Let's go for Bitfinex. Let's just use this and see. All right, so Bitfinex is here. Now, Bitfinex is very close to what we have for our MetaTrader charts, but I thought maybe I'll give you guys a better view from using Bitfinex instead of, or Bittrex, one of the two. Bittrex is also good as well. We could use either one. I'm just debating between the two because I want to make sure you guys have the best price feed available for me to give you guys the analysis here. All right. So let's make sure we got this all in here. Now I'm just checking through because I'm looking at the price feed and I'm seeing a bit of a difference here. So I just want to make sure that the price feed is not messed up for you guys and everything's good before I continue. Okay. All right. If anything changes on Bitfinex or Bittrex, then we'll fix it. All right. But let's just zoom in here and let's have a look. The price is almost the same, so we're not so bad. Okay. If I share back, I may go back and share on Zoom or something what we got going. All right. So right now, here we go. From where we are, this is the order block that my eyes are paying attention to. This is where we are. And if you remember from the analysis that I gave, I'm going to zoom in a little bit here, widen this out, stretch this a bit so that you guys can see. So this daily order block that we have here is a very important range of price. Reason being is because the body of this candle was responsible for a major aspect of the long that we saw before the price drop. Now, when we had the price breaking beneath here, we had a return onto the other side. And that was the trigger for a long period of time where we saw throughout May all the way into July, where we had the short. Now, we've been in this area now. The first time we arrived here was on the 20th of August. We've been in this area for approximately 4 days now, 5, including today. And now we've seen a bit of a reversal signature where the price is actually making its way down from the short. Now, similar to Cardano, the major speech right now from everyone is everybody's watching for that 50K level to be broken. Now, this is at the moment, the topology of this market, even though there is more institutional money coming in, but ideally, when it comes to crypto, the institutions didn't get into crypto first. It was the layman, the average Joe, if you want to call it that. And looking at what we've been seeing here with the price, it has given us a very strong recovery from this 29K level to where it is at 48. Now the price has returned here, and now I'm expecting to see some sort of reversal signature. Now a break above here again. We've been talking about the breaks and the break above and the break beneath, but why is this one significant? This area is very significant because if you're somebody that trades Wyckoff, this was the last order block before the price fulfilled the next set of, or the next phase of Wyckoff's pattern. Now, I'm not a Wyckoff trader in that way. I use a modified version, incorporating level 2 data to make it more accurate. But nonetheless, if we have a body of the candle close above this region, so if we get a very strong close, at the moment we've had a wick closure, but not body closure really above 50K. When we get the body closure above this region and a return back, we should be looking for a very strong long towards 57 and even above. Okay, this area right here is a strong, very, very strong area of at the moment supply until the price says otherwise, because it was a very strong area of demand. And I do expect the price to get to the nearest supply zone. So about 56, 55 to 56 is where I'm looking for the price to get to. And then we can see what the price does from here. Okay, so moving on from there, if the price does start to short off, where will it go? Now, I did this marking here for you guys earlier on, and I'm going to leave it here so that you guys have a better picture as to what's going on. Now, it's not very clear here, but there is a supply order block to the left here. Now, Bitfinex is not showing it. MetaTrader does have it. This is why I really respect the price feed, because it gives information that may be otherwise difficult to see. All right, but take my word for it. If not, please watch the video from yesterday. All right, so that you can be able to grab the information I'm giving out. So from here, here's the swing at A. All right, and then we see the price form a B right here. And then after from here, we've had the C swing form. Now I'm using capitals because I'm on the higher time frame. And then after from here, we'll go into D. All right. So right here, we've had a complete cycle of price. So if we move things forward, now I gave you guys a signal yesterday for this trade to go for, well, last week I gave you the long and I also gave you the continuation long, which have both played out perfectly. So at the moment, this swing high right here is acting as C. And so we have a complete cycle of price. Now, from normal market structure in this phase that we're in, we have an A to B swing at the moment. We have an established parent swing of a bullish sort. So ideally, the price should be actually pulling back. So this pullback is normal. The only way it will become a bit more abnormal, we might be seeing some danger. And I always want to put the danger notes out here is if we get a close beneath here. Now, this order block is hard to see because well, it's non-existent on this chart, but on other charts it is. For some reason, this is why I was switching between the two. Sorry for that little bit of a kerfuffle there. That was the area I was looking at. I was wondering why it's not there. But sometimes price feeds sometimes represent things differently. Maybe on the 4 hour, there is an order block here. But anyway, now ideally what we want is for the price to give us an A to B swing. And it looks as though we are going to have the retracement towards the C. Now, there is a lot of demand here that the price can use to be able to launch for that 50K. You have to remember, in order for the price to continue, there needs to be enough liquidity on the bullish side or the demand side of the order book to carry on pushing the price along. If there isn't, then the price will reverse. Now, at the moment, it's not too bad. The price is at about 48. Okay, and the highest so far was about 50. So if the price pulls back down to C, then ideally we would want to see the next wave of movement upwards. Okay, and that should carry the price to break past here and continue. My only danger, or I would say the danger point here would be if we had a body close beneath 42,512, then the price will be letting us know that we're back beneath areas of supply that we haven't seen or we had seen, from May onwards. So this is what we've got to watch out for. And this is what I'm keeping my eyes on. All right. This bull market cycle has been a completely different cycle to what most people were expecting. By now, Bitcoin really should have been at least about 80K. All right. Since we're in August now, if you're not too sure what I mean by that, please watch my previous videos about the golden bull cycle ratio. I believe I did that video about 4 days ago or 5, but it was definitely last week. All right. And discussing this, I would say it's very crucial to remember that when it comes to the golden bull cycle, now with bullish runs or in a bull market, the massive movements happen at the last throes of the bullish market. Now, by calculation, I did it with you guys. We have 497 days until the end of the bull market. If you take 365 days away, as I discussed last week, then that leaves us from the 11th of May, we have 132 days, which works out to be 4 months and about 2 weeks. Now, we've had at least 4 months from May, almost 4 months from May. 4 months from the 11th will be September the 11th. And then an extra 2 weeks will roughly give us about September 28th. So by September 28th, approximately, the bull cycle or Bitcoin should be at its highest point. Now, what we've had in this market, the different features from a fundamental aspect and technical are completely different from every other bull cycle. So either it's going to be a really good one or a very either a delayed one, but good, stays on track, but is good, or the market might not actually do what we're expecting and do something completely different, and we might see a breakout of that normal cycle. Again, crypto hasn't been around long enough to have enough data. We've had 2 previous cycles, but with each cycle, we've had an increase in an adoption of crypto itself. And when it comes to other markets like stocks, indices, and etc., Forex, they've been around for more than 100 years. So there is a lot of data that we can pull up to kind of see where price will do certain things, because at different historical points, very similar economic conditions have arisen, and the price has done specific things based on human psychology and other factors. Now, with crypto, it's not completely the same. In the last 2 cycles, we didn't have a pandemic. Okay, so that's already one thing that's changed. And when it comes to Bitcoin, a lot of us are looking at Bitcoin versus the US dollar, which would be the most liquid form of Bitcoin at the moment, because most Bitcoin is in America right now. The holders of Bitcoin are usually number 1 US, number 2 China. All right, but still, this is where we are at the moment. So for me, when I'm looking at the bearish side, I mean, of course, the price cheaper will be good for us all. All right, but what I'm looking for really is just to understand where liquidity is moving in the market. So as a technical trader, I would put this out there and shout this out to you now. If you haven't got any technical skills, please look at the link in the description below and at least take our 5-part course, okay, on how to understand technical analysis, supply and demand, and different structures of price. Okay, in 2021, it's no longer good enough for you to just hear what somebody else. It's never been good enough to hear what somebody else is saying. But definitely in 2021, with the structure of the market, you don't want to be left behind because you didn't take the time to just spend 30 minutes a day to learn a very simple skill that I believe anybody can learn if they apply themselves. It will save you a world of trouble. Save you from selling when you're supposed to be buying and vice versa. Okay, which is not what you want to do. You become a bad investor. You want to be buying when it's the time to buy and sell when it's the time to sell. But anyway, looking at the structure here, unless the price breaks past here, really we've got a bearish tone to the market that's coming along very soon. All right. Equally on Ethereum here, if I did the same thing, we'll be able to see the structure. So how do we do this on the H1? What do we look for? So on the hourly or intraday, let me pull this up here. What are we looking at? Now on the hourly here, the price has returned back to this demand zone. I told you guys that the price would return to this area of liquidity. Now, for us to know from an intraday perspective, okay, and then from a lower time frame perspective, what we should be looking for, it should be this H1 demand zone area here. This H1 area of demand is holding the price, and this was the trigger to produce so far the highest high we've seen since or post mini crash, if you want to call it that. Now, if the body of the candle on the hourly, which is a lot easier for us to be able to tell what to do, if we have a body close on the hourly beneath this area, then we should be seeing a return. The price will re-optimize demand for the supply. The order book will reassign itself to push supply or sell orders through this order block range. And then we should be seeing the price making its way down. All right, to where we expect it to go for RC. Now, if the price starts to get beneath there, then we need to question what the price is trying to do and what are the intentions. Okay, in this market, it is a kind of a do or die market, and hodlers, all right, are going to be the successful ones. So whether the price goes back down again, there's a whole load of things that can happen, but you just want to keep your eyes peeled, guys, because we are still in areas that, of course, there is a lot more bullish tone to the market, but markets don't go up forever. And in a market like this in 2021, just to give you a few things, we've seen an inflation rate that we haven't seen. CPI hasn't been as high as it is for many, many years. Okay. I think the CPI is at a 13-year high or something like that. Inflation has increased massively too. Okay. There's a lot of world issues going on. And, there's already talks of the US dollar doing tapering. As a Forex trader, I trade the Forex markets every day. And Jackson Hole's Synopsum is coming up on the 26th of August through to the 28th to discuss these things. So right now, central banks around the world are looking for solution. Currencies are devaluing before their eyes. And of course, the system is intrinsically broken. If you're not too sure as to why, please go and visit the Wealthy channel. I'll plug it in there. The Wealthy channel. I've got an 8-part series of videos. That is more than enough content for you to chew on. Okay, all free. But we have a different dynamic in the market. We have mass printing, quantitative easing, which has actually gone to the public. So the supply of dollars has really gone through the roof. I think I saw something that said approximately, I think 25% of all the dollars that are in existence right now were created from Bitcoin till now. Okay, so I mean, there's a lot of issues going on that we need to be aware of, and central banks know this. Now, we've already seen a massive crash on gold, seemingly out of nowhere. All right. So what doesn't mean what I mean, we've already had one crash. Okay. And right now everybody's happy. I'm not trying to be mean, but what if the price goes down again? What do we do? I'm not saying it's going to, but you just want to be prepared for everything, guys. All right. Because even some of the greatest YouTubers and greatest people that we know on YouTube and respect, they got afraid too when the first crash happened. Who's to say there isn't going to be another one? But if you have great technical analytical skills and you have a good heart to know that you want to hodl for the future, whichever way you guys put it, guys, crypto is going to make it. No matter what, no matter how much central banks might fight the adoption of it or delay crypto so that they can have a chance to be able to bring out their CBDCs, which is another issue, doesn't really matter. But either way, you just want to be ready. Okay, so I would say looking at Bitcoin here, this is what I'll give you guys as a pointer, all right, to watch out for what's happening. And let's see what the market produces for us. Now, I'll quickly go to Ethereum and see what's going on there before I leave. And then after, we'll look at XRP. So Ethereum here has come back to my markings for re-optimization. So we've come back to levels that we saw the price. Now, if you remember here, guys, for those of you who saw my analysis from before, we broke past this critical area of demand many, many times over. Now, the price is not respecting this area at the moment, but from these markings here, you can see how true it's run. You can see we have a re-optimization. Now, when the short happened here, The price entered into this daily order block here, and we were supposed to see the return, but we had a straight drop. So we had inefficiency on the short side. This was more of a panic sell, and also, I believe, institutional manipulation to make the price cheaper. Now, I do believe Ethereum is going to go well, and we've seen this very strong recovery here. And I believe that a lot of this recovery, a lot of people think that is because of retail activity, but I believe is more because of institutional money pouring in. I think this strong sustainment of a long and almost basically for at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. At least for 13 days, we had no red days, okay, until the 14th day. And then we had another set of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. So we had about 18 out of the 19 days, 18 out of 19 days were green. That kind of liquidity to sustain the price doesn't come from retail traders. As much as we want to believe so, it doesn't. This is institutional money being pumped in. And so the price, again, as we discussed the difference between things like Doge and ETH, they're both level 1 projects, but with very different economical factors and incentives and different things. Again, institutions, guys, they like to be in at the top. So you want to make sure that if they're going to get in somewhere, they want to make sure that it's lucrative. All right. So I would say, looking at what we have going forward here, here's the supply zone that I'm looking at. I'm expecting right now for the price to get into this area and start to sell. And potentially the price could be making its way down to at least this area here of about 2,988, something of that sort. Okay, so let's see what the price does. We're in this area. This would also mean a very strong short back down to 2.5 because this is the next demand zone available. Who knows? All right, I'll say keep your eyes peeled, guys, and I'll catch up with you guys soon. And everybody take care.